Good day to you as I stand in my living room. It's been a while. Today we're going to break away from the script, so to speak, of my notes because you are advanced enough in the class now to be able to digest the notes from the chapter and to be able to handle the quiz without a lot of instructor explanation. Instead, what I want to do with today's two videos is to illustrate some of the concepts that are in this really interesting and shorter chapter called Imports and Exports. Now, when you're talking about media imports and exports, you're talking about the amount of media content that comes into a country and the amount of media content that leaves a country and goes to another country. Those countries that receive a lot of media content, that is to say, when you're watching TV in those countries, a lot of the content doesn't even come from that own country, it's coming from other countries. There's a certain term used to describe those countries, and you can find that in the chapter. And the opposite is true as well. Those countries that send out a lot of media content, that media content going to other countries around the world, there's a certain term to describe those kinds of countries. And let's just take a moment and mention the United States is probably the leading exporter of media around the world. When we think of exports, we may think of things like technology, or we may think of natural gas. We don't often think that media are a big piece of the export economic picture in our country as well. If you go to England, for example, every single night you can find American TV shows, the latest TV shows, not seasons old TV shows, the latest TV shows. We're talking about sitcoms, we're talking about reality shows, we're talking about dramas, you name it, whatever we have. Not every single program, of course, but lots of what we have. CSI, for example, you can find on British television. Those countries that send out a lot of media content, there's a term to refer to those. And then there's a third set of countries. These countries have what is more considered to be a balance in their imports and exports. That is, they receive roughly equal amount of media content coming into their country as they do that they are sending out of their country. Those are world-centric countries. So in today's class, what I want to do is, in this first video, I want to check out the television in the United States. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with channel 2, and I'm going to scroll upwards or toggle the channel button upwards until we can find, or if we can find, some foreign content. Another note to make is, how much advertising do you see? We're getting close to the top of the hour, which is when new shows start, so we'll have to see how we do. Let's see if we can find some foreign content on a basic cable TV package, starting with channel 2.
In the next 5 minutes, we'll even give you a free upgrade.
Or maybe not, because with slow DSL from the phone company.
We're finished. Verdict in this case is for the plaintiff.
Then being able to show you.
We're going to let these things swipe away, and hopefully we can make here.
Would be used to pay for services like fire and
Matthew 17, if you have faith the size of a mustard.
Prepared for the unexpected. But chasing after the kid. What a kind of like twist that.
You don't think a call to a 911 operator saying that I've got a gyrocopter and I'm heading straight for the Capitol and
We'll book. Signed, Charles. Now, you don't have to. With Time Warner Cable, you can.
Strong children.
Would apply for the licenses.
For life.
And you could say spokesperson for Al Qaeda. So we expect that.
lesson this morning, kids.
Yeah?
I don't know about the offense.
I'm with Golick on this.
or do you have your eyes on some other?
Not have tremendous
belief as we head into the weekend either, so definitely
biggest, baddest
To come home.
If you want.
That's Pearl. It's built-in backup.
If it's incapable of creating a
Diamond Exports
while Liberia, right next door, has exported $2 billion worth. Very odd considering that Liberia has no diamonds to speak of.
Now I'm gone. No, don't take pictures of the kids.
Justin afraid.
For information on how to submit yours.
All right, so that may have been a bit of overkill, but that was 50 channels. And here are the 3 very slight mentions of foreign media content that I saw there. One was a brief commercial for a vacation to the Bahamas. The Bahamas are not United States properties. I guess you could consider that foreign content. The second was a brief allusion to ISIS in a news report on CNN. And the third was actually an American-produced program. It was some kind of drama on AMC, all the way at Channel 45, referring to the neighboring country, Liberia. Do you know where Liberia is? Yes, it's in northern Africa. Did you know that? You know, is it unexpected that you would not know that? No, it isn't if you're watching a lot of TV, because apparently if this sample of 50 channels is any indication of what TV watching is like in the United States, it's really hard to find foreign media content, even content from Canada, which for the most part speaks the same language as us. Of course, they have the French-speaking province of Quebec. But certainly we won't see, and probably won't see, any Mexican content until maybe we get up into the hundreds and we might see a telenovela. So this then is going to wrap up video number 1 for today on imports and exports. Let's see what we find out in video 2.